Let's get started with our first news. Topuria is now pound-for-pound number 1. The UFC pound-for-pound rankings have been updated following UFC 317, and there has been a massive shakeup. Jon Jones is nowhere to be found after officially announcing his retirement, which leaves a huge gap at the top of the rankings. Seizing that moment, Ilia Topuria has claimed the number 1 spot after his incredible emphatic knockout win over Charles Oliveira. It was a statement victory that sent shockwaves through the entire MMA community. Islam Makhachev, who has long dominated the conversation as one of the most technically sound and consistent champions, now slides to number 2. It's a move that's getting a lot of attention and sparking debate among fans and analysts alike. Some people feel Islam's overall body of work and consistency should keep him at the top, while others argue that Topuria's recent performance simply cannot be denied. Meanwhile, Dvalishvili now sits at number 3 after an incredible run marked by relentless pressure and grit. His style may not always be flashy, but it's effective, and it's earned him a place among the elite. Alexander Pantoja also made a big jump, moving up 4 spots to number 5 after submitting Kaikur of France in an impressive and dominant fashion. That finish reminded everyone that Pantoja is a serious threat in his division and can't be overlooked. This is a huge shakeup in the rankings, and it's got everyone talking. Topuria's performance was nothing short of undeniable. Knocking out a former champ like Oliveira is no small feat. It solidified his claim as the top fighter in the world. It wasn't just a win, it was a commanding, decisive finish that left no doubt in anyone's mind about his legitimacy. Meanwhile, Islam Makhachev, despite his dominant streak and proven ability to control and finish fights, finds himself bumped to 2nd place. Some fans are questioning if that's fair, wondering if Topuria's sample size is too small or if his rise is a little too fast, but others argue that rankings are about what you've done lately and who you've beaten. Topuria's win over Oliveira is as high level as it gets. What's clear is that the division is now wide open. The shakeup at the top is going to lead to some epic showdowns in the future to truly determine who is the best pound-for-pound fighter on the planet. It's a thrilling time to be a fan of MMA, with so many matchups to dream about and debates to have. One thing's for sure, everyone will be watching what happens next. Now let's move on to the second news. Khamzat Chimaev attempts to go after Sean Strickland on X ahead of his highly anticipated middleweight title fight against Dricus du Plessis at UFC 319. Khamzat posted that he's now in the US, clearly ready to kick off the build-up. True to form, he tried to stir the pot by calling out Sean Strickland in classic Khamzat fashion. But this time things didn't go exactly as planned. He tagged the wrong Sean Strickland. Instead of the UFC fighter, he accidentally tagged some completely unrelated guy. To top it off, Khamzat included a middle finger emoji along with a couple of laughing, crying emojis in the post, which made the whole thing even funnier. The guy he tagged actually played along, replying simply with "I do," leaving everyone cracking up. Khamzat, realizing the mistake, responded with surprising humility, saying, "Sorry bro, I don't know how to use Twitter, wrong guy." He didn't stop there though. He ended the entire episode by reposting a gif of the real Sean Strickland marching toward Paulo Costa, fully leaning into the joke and making fun of himself in the process. It turned what was meant to be a heated trash talk call out into an accidental comedy routine that had fans roaring with laughter. Fans on social media absolutely had a field day with this, immediately pouncing on Khamzat for not knowing how to properly tag his opponent. Memes, jokes, and sarcastic comments flooded X, with people clowning him for turning a hostile challenge into a lighthearted spectacle. Some fans even joke that Khamzat's callouts are so wild that even the Twitter algorithm can't keep up. But let's be honest, this is exactly why Khamzat is so entertaining. Even when he doesn't mean to be, he manages to steal the spotlight and keep everyone talking. It's part of what makes him such a compelling figure in the sport. Whether he's smashing people in the cage, trading insults online, or accidentally tagging the wrong person, he is always making headlines. And of course, all of this only adds more fuel to the hype for his upcoming showdown with Dricus du Plessis at UFC 319. This fight is already shaping up to be massive. Two absolute savages going head-to-head for the middleweight belt. With Khamzat's unfiltered personality and du Plessis' own brand of toughness and trash talk, the build-up is going to be can't miss. One thing is certain: fans will be watching every post, every face-off, and every moment leading up to this war. Now let's move on to another news. Kamaru Usman calls out Henry Cejudo. Usman didn't hold back at all. He went directly after Cejudo for saying Ilia Topuria should be the pound-for-pound #1 fighter in the world, only to immediately cast doubt on whether Topuria could even beat Arman Tsarukyan. Usman wasn't about to let that slide. He called out the flip-flopping in Cejudo's comments in front of everyone, pointing out how contradictory it sounded. Man said, my way of thinking changes a little bit with Ilia, 'cause you know everybody's hot on him. I don't know if he does that with a guy like Arman, a guy that could wrestle, a guy that could, you know what I'm saying. Oh, look at you flip-flopping. Did you not just call him the pound-for-pound #1 best fighter in the world right now? It was classic Usman, direct and brutally honest, pushing back hard on Cejudo's inconsistency without mincing words. But he wasn't finished there. Usman didn't just roast Cejudo. He added real nuance to the debate. He admitted Arman Tsarukyan is no joke. Not saying that Ilia won't beat him, but what I'm saying is we got to talk about that. Arman is a competitor, bro. He's been in there with Islam. He's had a close fight, rightfully so. It was a more layered take that acknowledged Arman's skills while still calling out the hypocrisy in Cejudo's argument. Then the conversation shifted to the complete mess at one man didn't sugarcoat it. He said it's a mess right now at 155 lows. It's a mess in the way where a lot of different things took place within the last year that created this mess. Then the champion #1 pound for pound decides, you know what, I'm tired of being here. I'm leaving. That creates a bigger mess. He laid it all out there for fans, exposing how the division has no clear roadmap, and the chaos is only growing. Usman went further, explaining how this confusion makes it tough to justify just giving someone a big fight based on hype alone. It makes it very difficult to just say, because you got some heat, you can make some noise with this fight, we're just going to move you up to fight, we're going to let you skip. He was blunt about how unfair that would be to real contenders grinding it out. The conversation even turned to whether Paddy Pimblett deserves one of these big opportunities, and Usman didn't sound impressed. He said, well, Jess is not going to get it. I think we both know that, dude. Well, listen, Usman made it very clear the division is chaotic, crowded with contenders, and that there's no easy solution. He wasn't afraid to challenge Cejudo's hot takes, proving once again why fans love his straight shooting style and no-nonsense analysis. Moving on to another news, Morab Valishvili reveals Ilia Topuria dropped in twice. Morab appeared on the Ariel Helwani show yesterday and opened up about what it's really like sparring with Ilia Topuria. He didn't hold anything back and admitted that Topuria dropped him twice with vicious body shots. This wasn't some random gym story. It was a raw, honest account from one of the toughest, most relentless fighters in the game. Morab explained, I sparred with him, he has great wrestling, great jiu-jitsu, we all know that he hits like a truck. That's high praise coming from someone as durable and gritty as Morab, who's known for pushing the pace and breaking his opponents with pressure. When Helwani pressed him about whether they'd sparred last week while Topuria was in town, Morab couldn't help but laugh. He said, no, not last week, man, I can't spar with him anymore because he hits too hard. He dropped me 2 times. From the body shot, thank God my head is fine. It's a pretty striking admission when you think about it. Morab is not the type of fighter who backs down from anyone. He's gone toe-to-toe with some of the nastiest strikers and grapplers in the UFC without blinking. So to hear him talk about avoiding sparring with Topuria because of the power that says everything you need to know about just how dangerous Ilia is in there. Morab even described the relief he felt every time their sparring sessions ended. Every time I finished fighting with him, I was happy, thank God, it's over, it's over. That sense of relief coming from such a warrior really underlines the level of threat Topuria brings. It's one thing to have highlight reel knockouts in the cage. It's another thing entirely to be folding elite contenders in training with body shots alone. This kind of real unfiltered testimony only adds to Topuria's growing legend. Fans already knew he was a killer inside the octagon, but this just confirms he's an absolute monster even behind closed doors. It fuels the hype and fear around his name. Opponents know they're not just stepping in with a slick striker or a solid grappler. They're facing someone with raw fight-ending power that can crush you to the body. For Ilia Topuria, stories like this help build an aura that's nearly impossible to ignore. He's not just beating people, he's breaking them. And with more top contenders openly admitting how hard he hits, his reputation as one of the scariest fighters in the division is only going to grow. Fans love it. Opponents probably not so much. But one thing's for sure, everyone is paying attention now. Now let's move on to another news. Jiří Procházka fires back at Magomed Ankalaev. The drama really heated up after Ankalaev decided to stir the pot with a pointed post on X just a few days ago. He wrote, "Breaking news, Alex now asking he want to fight me during Ramadan again. I need more time, and the other clown he have to do his homework. Let me fight Carlsberg. I think he's more dangerous than all of them." It was classic Ankalaev throwing shade at multiple people in one go and making sure to ruffle some feathers. Ankalaev was clearly calling people out and trying to position himself as the baddest man in the division. But Jiří wasn't about to sit back and take it quietly. He fired back today with his own cutting reply. He said, "Hey clown, I finished university like you finished elementary school. I hope, and if you don't want me as your teacher now, I'll fight Carlos next." It was classic Jiří, sharp, witty, and absolutely unafraid to go toe-to-toe in the trash talk department. Fans loved it. Social media lit up with reactions to Jiří's comeback. It wasn't just a generic insult, he delivered it with style and a sense of humor that made it even more entertaining. The light heavyweight division has always been known for its colorful, larger-than-life personalities, and exchanges like this remind everyone why it's such a fun weight class to follow. But this isn't just about words.
If you enjoy our videos, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. We'd really appreciate it.